really one for making resolutions as such. But I do have plans for the year, and so I thought I'd share them, really. I mean, this is so misnamed anyway. The real Urbi et Orbi, which is Latin for to the city and to the world, is a blessing given by the Pope over Christmas. It's like his Christmas broadcast, basically. So that's sort of why I've named it. And I've decided that what I'm going to do is sort of share my hopes and aspirations for the next year, sort of like resolutions in this broadcast. So next year is going to be a big, big year, I feel. The first thing, and it must be the first thing on our minds, is to leave Granville and to move into our new house to complete the Jennyfield settlement. And at the moment that seems to be going okay. Of course, everything has stopped for Christmas. We are hoping late January, early February for that to be completed. Once that is completed, the next big thing for this year will be my 30th in March. Now, I'm not going away to the US as I had planned, and I'm probably not going to be able to afford to rent out the Sun Pavilion either. I have already booked off 2 weeks over that period, so I don't know what I shall be doing for that really, but that will be, I must think of something to do for that, to market in some way. Once we've moved in, the first thing on the agenda will be setting up the birdhouse. And what we've got in the back is we've got a shed, and we're going to put 2 wings with wire on both sides of it and separate the inner shed in half. And one side is going to be for parakeets of all descriptions, and one side is going to be for finches of all descriptions. I don't know how long that's going to take to build. In theory it's not too big, it's quite simple, but it could get a bit tricky. We have to go through planning permission just in case. We have to get joiners to make it. And of course once we've made it, it will take a while to fill it as well. Our main emphasis next year is also going to be on losing weight and saving money. Because once we have a house, we won't have a landlord to sort things out if they go wrong. I am hoping that all of that will be sorted by the first solstice review of 2012. So I'm giving myself 6 months to do that, to move in and to get the to celebrate my 30th birthday and to have set up the birdhouse. I'm also going to be buying a little urban coop for chicken, just so that I can have eggs. I did promise myself I would do that, so that's another thing I want to do. It will also be absolutely vital that I put a gate on my back garden, and that I have sorted out things ready for the autumn when we start planting, well, when we start preparing the ground for the first sort of vegetables. The plantation I want to be ready so that we can have our harvest our first harvest in 2013, which means that by the end of the year the concrete at the bottom has to have been broken up and it has to be ready, going to have to be cleared ready for planting about this time next year, basically. What I'm going to do in terms of inside, I need a fridge freezer and a washing machine for my kitchen, and that is absolutely essential. And those are going to be the first purchases I make for the inside, almost certainly. I also want to have got the stuff that's usually stuck upon my wall with tack, framed and hung on the wall, and I want in the lounge shelving put in for my diaries. And then the idea is that I take one room of the house every year and redecorate. So that will be, well, there's the lounge, there's the kitchen, there's the bedroom, there's the bathroom, and I might try and theme them, I don't know yet, but I want to make a start on that, really. So there's quite a lot of stuff, and then basically the next thing after I've got that sorted out, I don't know if I'm not sure if I'll actually get round to properly decorating, or if this year will probably be a garden and bits and bobs around all corners of the house sort of thing. And then maybe next year I'll start on room by room redecoration. I think that's probably what will happen. The thing we also need to look at is possibly getting our own form of transport. That will be the thing to sort out once this house is done. Maybe as early as the fall of next year, if we can sort of squash everything in. The one thing that is going to be off our list almost certainly for the next year is job hunting. We're now going to be in a case of staying with the job we've got and sorting this out, because until we've got the house sorted out, there's no point in looking for another job. Could you imagine moving in, getting another job within a year? It would ruin everything. Unless the other job, of course, could be in Harrogate. But I think 2012 will be a year without job searches. You know, so that's basically where I am. If you look back at all we've done this last year, it has been, I think it's been a success. You know, we've had the Great Granville Inquisition. We've got the landlord to sort out what he needed to do at Granville. We almost had a case of moving out of Granville by the end of the year. My sister's and my cousin's wedding happened, and we lost lots of weight in the first part of the year. Of course, there were a few negative points, particularly Pettis dying, but it's been a prosperous year, so I hope next year it will be as prosperous. Probably busier, but I hope just as prosperous.